In today's video, I want to talk about Sony and their plans on PlayStation 4 games. They seem to still be very much in the market of creating compelling PS4 titles. We'll talk that, and also got a couple of game updates. Terminator Resistance is headed to the PlayStation 5 with an enhanced version, and Red Out Space Assault. That's a game a lot of you guys might not be aware about, but that is coming January 21st, and it looks quite good. More on that in a little bit. But right now, PlayStation 4 is here to stay. Yes, there's north of, 100 million people with a PlayStation 4. It would be a little bit foolish if Sony jumped off and stopped developing PlayStation 4 games altogether, and you know that the third parties are not going to want to just jump right into next generation with a much smaller user base to release their games onto. Hell, that's the reason why Cyberpunk 2077, even while being an absolute abomination on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, they got the game out on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, and it probably sold very well on those platforms. You could make an argument it shouldn't have been sold on those platforms. That's an argument for a different day. However, speaking with Edge Magazine, Jim Ryan explained that development will shift in favor of PlayStation 5 in time, but for now, PlayStation 4 isn't going to be left out in the cold. He specifically noted, "We do feel that we have a responsibility to that very large community and an opportunity to carry on making great PS4 games for as long as the need is there. I think you will see a tale with PlayStation 4 that you did not see with PlayStation 3, but that said, as time passes, you're gonna see more and more emphasis on PlayStation 5 development." We're already seeing that Sony is gonna be more committed to the PlayStation 4 than they were with the PlayStation 3. PlayStation 4 development in 2013, it really transitioned right into the PS4. If I recall, the final major PlayStation 3 exclusive release was Gran Turismo 6, and I want to say that was in December of 2013. That's right off the top of my head. Infamous Second Son came out a few months later. PlayStation 4 exclusive. Until Dawn, PlayStation 4 exclusive. Bloodborne in early 2015, PlayStation 4 exclusive. Might be missing a game or two there, but you also have to assess the fact, we know Miles Morales, that was a cross-generation title. Horizon, Forbidden West, yeah, surprisingly, that is a cross-generation title, and honestly, I would prefer development to move entirely to the PlayStation 5 from a personal standpoint, because I have a PlayStation 5, and to see them get the most out of the PS5 developing games just for PlayStation 5 and not cross-generationally, that would be cool to me. However, this time around, I don't really care as much about that, just because I thought about it, and honestly, this generation, my thing is, from a personal standpoint, I want 60 frames per second, and if we get the Miles Morales upgrade on the PlayStation 5 versions of games that are released on the PlayStation 4, bruh, I'm all good with that, honestly. I don't really care at that point. The graphics, to me, are good enough. Like, these games look great to me. Miles Morales, in my opinion, as a cross-gen game, looks fantastic. I get to play at 60 frames per second. I'm happy. You know, Horizon, I'm sure, probably will be 60 frames per second, or at the very least have an option for 60 frames per second on the PlayStation 5. I'll be happy with that. I'll be happy with all these cross-generational titles as long as they have a 60 FPS option, because that's really what I'm after this generation. I've said it over and over again, but guys, I've kind of gotten burnt out on graphics. I mean, these graphics to me are just so good. Sure, ray tracing lighting is cool, and I'm playing Cyberpunk on a PC, and I've tried ray tracing on, and I'm like, okay, it's cool, but it's not earth-shattering to me. To me, we've already gotten to a point where the graphics are so good that performance should be an imperative, and I know the graphics and visuals are going to be the easier thing to market than 60 frames per second. Fine, get games that look really good, get your Demon Souls remakes of the world, just give me an option to play those games at a 60 FPS frame rate, and you know, for the people that want all the bells and whistles with the visuals, give them the option for that, because some people are going to be like me, where they're all about that 60 FPS, and then other people are going to be like, I'm fine with the game being at 30 FPS. I actually played Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag on the PlayStation 3 and the PlayStation 4, and the leap to the PlayStation 4, in my opinion, was not as evident as the leap that I'm experiencing with Assassin's Creed Valhalla, because Valhalla is actually playing at 60 frames per second. Guys, to me, 60 FPS is huge, so yeah, I'll be on that 60 FPS train for quite a while, and I'll be advocating for all games having a 60 FPS option, and if we get to a point where there's a couple developers, please don't do this, where you're just, you know, putting so many eggs into the graphics bag, and that's fine. If you want to have all the bells and whistles, do that as an option. Please give me the FPS option and I'll be totally happy. Ratchet is going to be doing that, Demon's Souls did that, and I hope every other PlayStation 5 does that. But as far as PlayStation 4 support, I think that's great. Look, PlayStation 5s are really hard to get. Also, not everybody wants to drop $500 right now, given the world climate we're in, so I can understand why PlayStation 4 games are still going to be a necessity for a lot of people. And also, there's north of 100 million people there. There's a lot of money that Sony could be making, and from a third-party standpoint, the majority of titles are going to be cross-generational. But ultimately, 3-4 years down the line, I do see that, you know, winding down quite a bit, and the majority of titles at that point, probably 90-95% of them would be PlayStation 5 exclusives. Nevertheless, moving on from that, want to talk a couple of things as well quickly. Terminator Resistance is headed to the PlayStation 5 with Terminator Resistance Enhanced Edition. This is a game that came out on Steam a little while ago, back in November of 2019, and it got a really positive reception. Metacritic wasn't hot on it with a 60, but a very positive reception. 92% of the 5,330 reviews were positive. Kind of a first-person shooter you got here, and now it will be coming to the PlayStation 5. They have a couple of details with the game, so you guys can check that out. I'll leave a link in the description box below. And the game did have a PlayStation 4 and Xbox One release, but it will be upgraded for the PlayStation 5 release, of course, with better frame rates, lighting effects, visual improvements, all that good stuff. Lock 60 FPS, I see they're very nice. Alright, also, Redout Space Assault. This game is seemingly more of my jam. This is an action space arcade title, I guess you would say. No, it's Redout Space Assault is an arcade space battle coupling the trademark Redout adrenaline with the thrill of combat. Outsmart, outmaneuver, overpower, outclass your opponents in lightning-fast, adrenaline-inducing single-player space combat. So this one is due out 2021. Redout has been around for quite a while, but it's getting a release on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC, and it'll be dropping January of 2021, January 22nd, so it's right around the corner. And honestly, from a high-octane action game fan standpoint, I think this is going to be one that might be right up the alley of a lot of you guys. Looks to be a pretty enjoyable game. Wanted to give mention to that, so that's pretty cool. But that's going to wrap up this video. Again, as far as PlayStation 4 titles are concerned, expect that to be around for quite a while, and expect Sony to be putting those out. And, of course, from a third-party standpoint, they're going to keep you know, cross-generation titles, PS4 titles around for a very long time. I would have to think at least 2 to 3 years. Maybe 3 years would be a little bit pushing it, but nevertheless, I do foresee PS4 releases. Let's just hope they're not as big of a train wreck as one Cyberpunk 2077. Terminator Resistance coming to the PlayStation 5, and Redout Space Assault drops January 22nd. That's going to wrap up this one. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.